Well, welcome to my studio. I'm Linda Glover Gooch, and I am glad you're here. Today, I'm taking you up into the sky. Yes, I'm going to take you through the scene of me painting this cloud scene. So I hope that it's helpful to you and you find great value in it. Behind me, you can see this big white canvas. That's what I'm getting ready to work on in the studio next. I'm kind of excited. This is monsoon season in Arizona, so I am in the mood for clouds. So I've started this small study, kind of getting the feel of what I'm going to maybe possibly do up here. I've got several reference photos out, been working on some studies for it. This is one of them, working my way there. So I'll film it and maybe I'll have a video with this one too. But for now, we are looking at this scene. This was a 12 by 16 that I painted called Reminiscence, and I have some lessons in it for you. So I hope you enjoy it. Remember, if you're not subscribed, think about subscribing and click that bell so that you are alerted when I add more videos. Let's get with it and watch this video. Okay, I know exactly what you're going to ask me. I know what you want to know. You want to know, why did I not put that wash on before I painted foreground? Good question. You know, when I set out to paint that painting, I thought I wanted just to work on the white canvas. A lot of times I do just want to work on the white canvas with my clouds, but I do love a pink underglow. So I just decided to put that wash on there. My ground underneath was still a little wet, but I avoided it, obviously. Would it have been great just to wash the whole canvas over? And sure it would have. But you know, sometimes it's just along that creative journey you make those decisions. I do plan ahead a lot, and I do preach that to my students, to make your plans, do your studies, know your pathway. But you know, this creative process is also what the word creative means. Sometimes you get a sense of, I maybe want to change something, and we get to do that. So there is the answer to that question. I heard all of you there going, why didn't she do that before she painted the ground? All right, let's carry on and see how the rest of this goes. Now I'm coming in with a paper towel and doing what I refer to as wiping away and sculpting my drawing. I like to pull the white back out, so obviously this has to be done while the wash is wet. And I go around and build all of those shapes as I wipe away and try to get some form. Kind of sculpting that cloud is what I call it. And then once I have that done, this time I just used my paper towel and grabbed some of my air color, my gray blue, and just was coming up there with a little bit of wash. You know, I'm feeling my way through it here. That's what I was doing. I just wanted to get a sense of where I was going. You can see how thin that is up in the sky. It's a very thin layer. But down in my foreground, it's heavy, thick paint. I want weight and some meat to my foreground. So now I actually start coming in with paint, and this is my air color, the darkest value of it. I start pulling it in and just shaping some of the areas of where I see the darks. As I move up higher in my cloud, my colors become cooler, or my values become cooler, and there's a variation in blues. And it's just a back and forth process. Some of my gray blues, some of my shadow. I try to leave some of my white already there. See, sometimes I come back and wipe back out, but I actually like that process because you can get some real soft edges and some kind of nice feeling to your clouds by doing that. Just more of the same. Now I am bringing in a little variation to the dark shadow area. That was some white and cobalt blue. And I just vary that, just giving it a little bit of different blues and some beautiful hues. Now the fun, the fat, thick paint. I really lay that paint up there fat, and that is not white, it is a warm white. I've added a little bit of a cadmium yellow or a yellow ochre, depending on my mood, which one I want to use, but a lot of fat, thick paint. And I start into the blue sky very early because I want to work the edges and I want to get a sense and a feeling of how this is going. So it's a lot of back and forth. I don't wait for the cloud to be done. All right, I know. I hear you. The ground. Now, when I'm doing my landscapes, a lot of times I do love a warm undertone. Not always does it show through. Sometimes it sparkles through. I think that depends on the spontaneity that I'm able to work with. Out plein air, it's usually easier for me because I'm pushing. In the studio, I stop and I get coffee and I'm working my way through it. So sometimes that spontaneity is not quite there. But yeah, I know I put the wash on, but the foreground was dry at this point, so it didn't really hurt anything. I just put that warm wash over it and just, begin to do the little bit of wiping away and designing. But there it is again. Just because, no other reason than just because I decided I wanted to wash. All right, so we'll finish up this foreground and I'm gonna work on the clouds a little bit too. You'll find that when I work my way through paintings, that cloud, I start with it and I love to get a sense of it and feel like I'm getting somewhere with it. And then I'll drop down to the foreground, I'll go back up, I work back and forth as I'm moving along. So never is it completely finished when I jump down to the foreground, and vice versa. You'll watch me go back up into the horizon as well, moving things back and forth, kind of adjusting some things. So, all right, let's go paint some green. So I'm using a color shaper just to wipe away, maybe do a little bit of design, thinking of what I want down in this foreground. At times, those color shapers leave too hard of a line for me, so I jump back into my paper towel. And then I am going to let that set up down there. I usually will give it some time to sit. So I'm jumping back up to the horizon. I felt like I wanted a little more light in that horizon. When I get going to my foreground, I will establish some dark lines, and then I push to the far distance with a nice cool green. Start working my way forward, getting warmer as I come closer with some ochres, maybe orange, maybe raw sienna mixed with the greens. And then I spend quite a bit of time just working on that foreground. I like to use some big brushes, bristle brushes for up close, and get some fairly thick paint up close. Then I go down to a smaller brush, tweak where I want to refine. When I have small buildings off in the distance, I just start with dark little abstract shapes. I just start building it very loosely, then I'll come in with some lights, and I will develop little farm scenes like that. Now back up into the sky. More fat, thick paint. A lot of push and pull. More silver grays, more light blues, more shadow, more softening. I have a lot of layers that go into these clouds. I work the outside edges of my clouds quite a bit, coming back up there with blue sky, softening, flicking out some little white pieces of clouds, softening, back and forth. I spend a lot of time along the outside edge, and I will keep working at it till I get it the way I want it. And sometimes it's laying something in and I take it back out. Then I lay it in and I take it back out. I just am determined to get it how I want it.
Well, my friend, I hope that you found that a valuable lesson, that it was, number one, inspiring to you. Again, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. And remember, if you would like to study further with me, I have a cloud course. I will put the link down in the descriptions. There's also a video right after this that shows you that cloud course. So come paint clouds with me. All right, my friend. Thanks again. Remember to subscribe, thumbs up, and I'll see you at the next video.